First of all, welcome to the Broski Doodles podcast, the best podcast in all the land. It's Kiko Flo, Kiko Cervantes. As always, with me, Chef Maurice, directly from San Francisco, the land of the versatile, the land of the freedom, and the land of the outdoor camping.
Wow, yeah.
Okay, I wanted to tell you a little tale. a little tale. There was actually a town that I wanted you to go with me when you were here, but we just didn't have a chance to go to. But it's called Segovia, right? It's technically driving is like 2 hours away from Madrid, but there's a high-speed train that takes 27 minutes. And I love it because it goes from the station that's very near my house and it takes me to this place, which is technically in another jurisdiction, like in another state. And we're there like in half an hour, right? Okay, perfect. What's famous in this place? There's this castle. If you can please just search for it. This way we can show it as well. It's called the Alcázar de Segovia. Alcázar with a zeta. So there's a castle there. So it's touristic because people go see a castle. And it also has an aqueduct. So also look for the Aqueduct of Segovia. And we'll show those too. And I've gone to this place before. But one of the things they have there is pork rinds. They call it torreznos, we call it chicharrón, and it's fucking amazing. And I had probably 900 grams of pork rinds throughout the whole day. So we're gonna get to like a little bit of the town because I really love it. I recommend people to go. I'll give you tips and all the little things you can do. But I wanted to talk to you. You know, I'm gonna do this shit Tarantino style. I'm gonna tell you the ending, and then we'll go backwards like a prequel. Imagine Furiosa. We're going back in time. Okay? So,
Furiosa.
What was the topic that I wrote in my phone? Because, you know, I got my little phone. Whenever something exciting happens, I'm like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. I was heading back to my house. I needed to take a little... Oh, look at this. It's beautiful. So, you're already sharing it. This is the Aqueduct of Segovia. This is one of the main attractions there. And this is from the Roman times. This is one of the oldest aqueducts. Oh, you took it off?
Oh, shit.
All right. We'll talk about it in a little bit. You're confusing me. You're putting it... Take it off. We'll show it in a bit. But after I got there like at 11 in the morning. We left at 8 in the evening. And when we left, one of the cool things, and I love this shit about the trains in Spain. They didn't have it during the pandemic, which was fucking dog shit. But they have a little cafeteria in the train. So instead of going to seat, which is comfortable, it's a lot more comfortable sitting there than in an airplane. You could just go to the cafeteria, get a beer, and you're watching the scenery while going 300 kilometers per hour, which is like 1,000... miles per hour. The American.
Where you gringos over there?
It's 1,000 gringos per hour. And you're drinking a fucking beer. And for some reason that excited me because we were already drinking throughout the day. I went with my girlfriend. And one thing that happens is if you stop drinking, then you better be ready to stop the day because you're shutting down. But if you want to continue, you gotta re-drink soon enough because otherwise your body starts shutting down. So we, continue to drink. We go to the train, 27-minute ride. We're drinking a beer. And I just wanted to say how exciting it is for you to be in the train and easily, you know what? I don't even want to sit. I'm going to the cafeteria place. Let me get 2 beers. And that day, I just wanted to have 2 beers. But there's been other times where I've gone to this town and on the way back, I'm feeling a little excited. I'm feeling a little special. And I tell the bitch at the cafeteria, give me a whiskey.
Damn.
And she gives me a fucking whiskey.
Okay. On the rocks?
Yeah, I tell her, give me ice and that's it, baby. I'm doing this shit to the dome. She's like, damn.
Raw dogging this shit.
I'm raw dogging this shit. So what I'm trying to say is, if you come to Spain, use the train and go to the cafeteria and drink with the brewskis or with the wife. You know what you can do? Even if you have like kids. Some people might say boring, right? It is. But you take the kid, you can ask the lady at the cafeteria, hey, can you give me a little sandwich, whatever the fuck you have there, to give this little guy. And then let me get 2 whiskeys, one for me and one for the lady that decided to accompany me last 20 years. So I don't know. I just felt that was exciting. Then we got home. I think I had 2 more beers at home, and I completed the
Passed
cycle.
out.
Yeah, I passed out.
Is I'm gonna share. I'm
Yeah,
gonna share the Alcázar.
Now let's share the pictures. So this little town, Segovia, it was one of the places that had like a fort where you would defend.
Yeah, maybe I should have taken more pictures.
Do you have the pictures available that I sent you?
Yeah, I will have to look. One second.
All right. Look, because you can even have the one that I sent you with the chicharron. Because what we
Yeah.
did this time, we had gone in the past and visited the castle, but they had always talked to us about, instead of just going to the castle itself, go down the hill and see the castle from the bottom of the hill, the way that a visitor would look at it. And it was a whole different experience because of how big it looks. And for people that don't know, the castle that they use in the Disney lore, in the Disney movies and shit, was inspired on this castle. If you could also have, I know I'm asking a lot here today. If you could get, okay, so this is a beautiful picture here of the Alcázar. Here you can see how huge it looks. It looks like fucking Hogwarts, right? And this is a view that I had not seen before. I had gone to this town many times, but I had always been up there where the city is. And when you look at it from down here, you can really tell and feel how it was to live in those fucking places. Dude, by the way, that pork rind was insane. It was so good. When you get a chance, also get one of Alcázar in the winter, because that's the one that they used as reference for the castles in the Disney movies. And you're like, hey, why would they do that? Well, because there's no castles in the U.S. aside from like White Castle, which they sell burgers.
It looks like it's. I'm gonna show the picture now, but it's a very nice view for sure.
It's pretty sick, right?
Damn, I can see Disney all over this shit.
I know a lot of people listen to us through the audio waves, through Spotify, so I will try to explain as much. But hey, also sometimes look at the video version as well. But otherwise, you can search for the Segovia Alcázar, or the castle in Segovia. For the ones looking at YouTube, you can see how this thing looks so beautiful with the snow, and you can really tell, like, you'll be like scared to go into this place and try to fuck with the kings. You feel me? So yeah.
Did anything special happen there? Any historical relevance?
Yeah, I mean, I went I went once with my job, and they hired like a tour guide to take us through the castle and explain the things. And there's a lot of history. I believe it might have been one of the capitals in Spain for a bit. It was the place where they kept all the gold for a while. It was a military base for a long time, so it served a lot as a place where they trained the soldiers. So yeah. If you can also show the picture of the aqueduct, that's another thing that this town is famous for, because this is an aqueduct that was made in the Roman times. I was about to say the German times. No, the Roman times.
Those were different times.
Yeah, no, those were different aqueducts. So in the Roman times, they did aqueducts, which were very impressive at the time. And what it did, obviously, it took water from a place to another. All it was a pipe made into a rock, tilted, and you would take water from a nearby river and sort of put it in a little tube, but it was made of rocks. If you put the picture, we'll explain it. And this will provide water for the whole town. So if you look at this has a tilt, very slight. And what would happen is the water will go through the top, and then it will go down through columns and provide water to the city. And this goes a long ass way, but this is the entrance to the city, and it is breathtaking. I mean, this is a nice picture, but once you're there and you feel it, you can really, smell the
piss,
the story behind it. One thing that's very famous in this town is the suckling pig. That's what it's called in English. In Spanish, it's called cochinillo. And what it is a baby pig. So what they do is they go to a pork farm, right? And then they go to one of the pork mothers, and they rip one of their kids away from her. And they tell her, we're going to kill this motherfucker. It's very traumatic.
We're going to cook this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's very traumatic. Pigs are crying left and right. They take the little pig and, well, they sacrifice it. And they roast it. And they serve it with potatoes.
I'm looking for a picture.
Yeah, search for cochinillo de Segovia because it's very peculiar the way they serve it. Because if you get the whole pig, you're getting the face in there. You're getting that pig face right there, baby, so you can know what the fuck happened to that pig. Do you think as a chef sometimes it's good for you to see the animal so you can fucking respect what you're eating?
Yeah, I think it's important.
Okay.
It has happened to me before. I look at the quail, the little bird, and I look at it and I'm like, you deserve respect today, sir.
Okay.
So we don't eat it that day.
Oh, you don't eat it?
This is one of the most famous ways of cutting the pig, right?
Yeah, in this place, they take pride, and there's a few very famous places. And the whole thing about it is, if you're cutting the pig with the plate, that's how soft the pig is. So it's sort of like a test, right? For the people that are hearing this on the audio waves, imagine like just a pig being roasted in a clay pot. And what they do is that, they cut it open with a plate to signify, hey, look, this shit is so succulent and such a baby pig, so tender, that we don't even need a knife. A plate is enough to cut this juicy protein. And then they serve it with salad, potatoes, wine. And cerveza. Hey, can I go to Cinco de Mayo for cerveza? So anyways, it's amazing. Another thing that I had, which you saw in the pictures before, is the pork rind, or chicharrón, as we like to call it in Venezuela, or torreznos, as they like to call it in Spain. And I just went to a little store that just sold you a bag of it. Imagine, like, when you're an adult, you can do things that you didn't think were possible. You could go to a store and you can tell him, can I get 300 grams of pork rind? And he'll get you a bag. He'll cut you a few little pieces, put them in a bag, and you can just walk around Segovia with a little bag of torreznos. Okay, so this is another picture of the suckling pig. You can see the potatoes. There are different ways of making it slightly, but in general, it's not that, sort of difficult. It's a pig in a clay pot. Put it in the oven.
And I remember when I was in Madrid, there was this restaurant that's very old, and then the fire has never been out, from what I understood. And it has been 100 and whatever years. And then that's where they cook.
If you want to show it, it's called El Botín. El Restaurante El Botín is supposed to be the oldest restaurant in the world. It's in the Guinness record. But I'm like, I guess the oldest restaurant that's still running, obviously. Because there were restaurants 1,000 years ago. And they're not in the world records. But they don't exist anymore. So apparently this is one of those restaurants that's been running for, 200 years. And they also serve the suckling pig. I think it's called El Botín.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very famous. My family has been. I haven't been myself. It is very, would I say touristic? It is a bit touristic, but apparently it is worth it. I'm not sure if it's a Michelin star restaurant, but it is a very, very demanded. It's next to Plaza Mayor, so it's in the center of Madrid. But yeah, definitely, if you go to Madrid, I recommend you go to it. Why not? I heard that it was really good, and not only the suckling pig, but everything they sell there.
I'm gonna show you a picture of how they keep the little pigs.
In this place specifically?
In this place, yeah.
In El Botín. Okay.
Yeah, so they're already cooked. They just kind of heat it up as you order it. But then, I'm not going to lie, it looks delicious.
And don't you love the classic look of Spain? Like nothing fancy, just flavor. A few weeks back, I got drunk at a bar that had those like same looks, like very Spanish old. And you're like, God damn, man, imagine how many roaches have gone past that kitchen. You feel me? Like, you start thinking, damn, this is a classic a classic place. But anyway, for people that haven't been, Spain, you gotta come. It's for
We all have to come.
sorry, you. Oh, you have
We
to.
all have to
yeah,
come.
yeah, you have to come too. You have to come again. But yeah, I think for people, especially that live in the U.S., would find it that your money goes a long way, especially if you do a little research. That place, El Botín, you know, I think you be spending like, I don't know, 20, $30 per person for like a high-end restaurant. I know Chef Maurice is used to more like $1,000, but you know, this is not that style. You know, you're gonna eat well, you're gonna be served well, you're gonna be attended by a Spanish or maybe South American server who's gonna tell you what's up. He's not gonna be like, "Hey guys, I'm Bobby. I'm gonna be your server tonight." He won't be like that.
Where does he speak like that?
What?
Where does Bobby have that accent? That
No, because
special.
because he's like, you know, a server in the U.S.
Mm.
Hi guys, my name's Samantha. I'm gonna be your server tonight. So yeah, if you need anything, let me know. Okay. Okay. And by the way, you're gonna give me 25% of how much everything costs here. Okay. And I need that
Would
shit
you-
cash.
I feel like you could be a very good tourist person. Like, how do you call them?
A tourist? Or you mean like a tourist recommendor?
Yeah, you know,
A guide.
a tourist guide.
Okay.
When me and my family went to Spain, I felt like you were a very good guide, and very good restaurants and very good places to visit. So
You felt like I made you get a lot for your time here?
yeah, definitely.
That's great to hear, because
Maybe-
that's what I like to do. I might not become an official tourist guide, but it is true that for the people that I love and that visit me, and I don't do this for anybody, so don't get ideas, people listening. I will take you to amazing places because I have been here for a long time, and now I'm a curator, not only of great food but of great experiences. So you're like, hey, I heard you went to a karaoke place the other day for your birthday. I'm gonna take you there. You feel me? And we're gonna sing "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys while we drink, you know, a rum and coke with Venezuelan rum, you know, to celebrate the freedom that we're trying to get. For example, I'm just saying, for example. So yeah, am I an experienced culinary connoisseur? Yes. Will I take you to the experiences? Maybe, if I like you.
I'll take you just to the door. You spend the money, and I'll wait for inside.
No, if I'm taking you, then people are paying.
For example, the cachopo place. We keep bringing it up, but that was a very good recommendation,
I love that you say that because that's one of my favorite places.
and it has become one of my favorite ones.
All right, so when you come back, we're gonna rip that motherfucker up.
And the place we ate the tortillas the first night.
You like that one too?
That's my shit.
Damn,
That's some shit right there,
I
dog.
feel like you should have shared this more, so I would have gotten excited more before too. I mean, not that you didn't express it before, but yeah, whenever you get this in your mind, you express it and you tell me, because that means I know that I'm doing the right things.
If it's like at 3 a.m. and I think about the tortillas, I'm just gonna text you about it.
No, you call me.
Yeah, call you.
You video call me right there. It doesn't matter what time it is here. I answer you like, Kiko, remember the fucking tortilla place? Fucking A, bro. I'm touching
The other day
myself.
the other day I made a Spanish tortilla at home. For the gringos that are listening, a Spanish omelet, which I don't think should be the right term for it. It should definitely go tortilla, but for the gringos,
Right, it might get
Spanish
mixed
omelet.
up with the Mexican tortilla.
Right. Anyways, the Spanish tortillas. I made one at home the other day, and I got everything I wanted out of it. Like, it was gooey, the egg was a little runny, the onions were cooked, the potatoes were perfectly cooked, salted, but I got to that place where I wanted it to cook it, and it came out perfect, but the ingredients I used are not the same that,
Is it
Spanish
something that you
people use.
just can't get over there?
it's just something I can't get here. The taste will never be the same.
There is also something about the cook. When you're in Spain, there is something that translates to the flavor when an underpaid Spanish person with free healthcare is cooking it. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know I can explain. It's culinary magic, call it what you will, but It is, sort of like when you're in Venezuela and you're having a hot dog in the street and the sweat that comes from the worker that falls in the water that's cooking the wiener,
The hot dog.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That flavor, you can't get that at a fucking culinary school in Paris. No, you get that, like for example, if you get malaria in India for eating in the streets, you don't learn that in, culinary, la cordon bleu shit.
Now, do you feel that have you seen the videos? I don't want to throw shade, but have you seen the videos of street food in India?
I have.
They are something to think about.
I will say this. There is a lot of meme videos making fun of it.
Right.
And there are many times where in different cases, I would say, damn, that's ill-intended persons, which I'm sure some of them are. But it's so evident in so many videos that I'm like, yo, I can't help you here. Like it merits that people are gonna meme it because it is insane. Now, it is a cultural thing. It is very possible. I mean, not only very possible, I'm almost certain that they have a different,
Body structure.
immune system, where they can take these foods with a lot less sanitary regulations and still, go ahead. But bro, some of it is like, it's insane. I'm sure there's a lot of Indian places that are amazing. By the way, I love Indian food. There's an Indian food place that I go here in Madrid that I love.
That's another good place.
I took you there too, right?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Dude, I did the rounds. I did a fucking Kobe 3-pointer to save the game. God damn it.
Hopefully you won't go in a helicopter. Anyways, Indian food. Yeah. I mean, that place that we went to eat, amazing. Now, it does make me think a lot if I ever want to travel to India. It's like,
I unfortunately do not want to.
It's not something it's in your radar.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, maybe as I get older, I'm starting to express more my feelings without caring, which might be an issue. To be honest, I don't know if it's the right choice. But I wouldn't feel bad if like an Indian person told me, hey, you know what? In my direct plans, Venezuela, going there is not something I'm planning. Hey, I'm with you, bro.
That's fine. Great.
I'm with you. So from what I see, it's not a place that I would want to go to at the moment. I'm sure they have a lot of amazing things. Like I said, I'm a lover of their food, and I'm sure their culture is amazing. There's just a lot more places that just seem more appealing for me, especially a poor man that doesn't have unlimited money to go anywhere. Maybe have gone everywhere else.
You can travel to Segovia. For how much? 50 euros?
No. So the cheapest, what I do is there's like every hour or so there's a train going. So what happens is, this is in the north of Madrid. So pretty much every train that's going to anywhere in the north passes through here, through Segovia. So you pretty much catch any of those trains. And the cheapest fare that I'm always able to get is $11 each way.
God damn.
So it's $22, there and back.
Okay, not bad. And you can get alcohol on the train. Fuck.
You can get alcohol on the train. €3, I think, for a beer.
Say less, man.
You feel
had
me?
me at.
And I don't want to say anything because it is some of undisclosed information. But I took a little package of the organic herbs, and while I was looking at the castle, yeah, there was incense. You could say that. You could say we honor the death with our air and our smoke. Yeah. I took 5 joints, and I realized at one point, I'm like, damn, this is maybe too much. And at one point I had to like power smoke like joints and shit.
Well, the question now, they don't have TSA at the
it's a very like, imagine TSA before 9/11.
Okay, very open.
Yeah, very chill. I still take precautions.
Okay.
Now,
where do you stay?
I'm not gonna give you all the fucking secrets, right? Like, I'm already saying too much.
Okay, you're right.
But I mean, granted, if anything was to happen, it's more like, okay, you have a fine, you have to pay or whatever. But
And what happens if you don't pay? Nothing, right?
No, I mean,
they're gonna look up for you.
I mean, I don't want to think about that because I don't want to sort of attract that to my life. But no, I would pay it. I'm a fucking citizen of the world. Like, I'll tell them, bro, I'm a grown man. I'm going to Segovia to have suckling pig, pork rinds, and smoke a fucking joint while I look at the castle where millions of people have died. Is there a problem? Am I free to do that in the free nation of Spain? Is this what my grandparents...
Sorry,
they're like, oh, sorry, guy. No, it's okay, man. No, hey, give him back his weed. It's okay, man. This is a fucking national citizen. Let's go. I'm like, all right. Are we free? Is this what we signed the Declaration of Independence? Hey, this is not America. This is Spain. We have another thing going on. We have a king. We'll cut your fucking head, okay? You fucking immigrant. I'm like, damn. They don't fuck around. You know?
So they're very open with certain substances.
Let's just say they're tolerant.
Okay.
Like, I went to the doctor recently, and I had to, like, meet a new doctor. And she was asking me, like, hey, do you smoke? And I'm like, I do, but not tobacco.
Okay.
A little riddle. A little riddle for my doctor. And she's like, okay, so... She straight up said, okay, so how many joints? Like, 3, 4 a day? I'm like, yeah, about. I was
a
like...
little more, a little less. Who knows?
And I was just like, I felt good just being an honest citizen. Like, hey, this is my condition. Help me. No, don't help me. No, I'm good. But, no, I mean...
Do you think she looked at you weird?
You know what? She was an older Spanish lady, and she didn't seem to judge me. Now, I don't know what she thought when I left. Maybe she thought, we shouldn't let these motherfuckers in. It could have been. But I felt that it was more of a, okay, I like this guy. Seems like a good guy. Hopefully he's not a father. But
I don't think that has to do it.
No,
that has to do with anything. Huh?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I think she was cool. But no, I just felt like an adult. Just being real ski. But anyways, yeah, so I went to Segovia. I took a couple of cannons, and I smoked them in the parks. And then we went into different places, had beer, had wine. When we got there, we went to a place that I had gone before where they have a bunch of charcuterie stuff. You can buy wines, cheeses, pork rinds, ham, chorizo. And they had like a little combo for 2 people. And they just brought a bunch of cheeses, a bunch of salchichon, a bunch of chorizo, salami, whatever the fuck, bread, a little wine, a little thing, a little bread, a little bang.
And all that for like 10 euros.
Well, that one cost 18.
I mean, still good.
$9 per person.
Here at Charcuterie Board, it's like $50, $60.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. This place, for the money, you get a lot. And because it is sort of a town outside of the capital, people are even nicer. Or actually, let me just rephrase that. People are nice. In Madrid, it's hard to find, even though I love Madrid and it is my home. You get a lot more. You get more tapas. So, people have this conception of Spain where, like, if you get a drink, you get a tapa, right? You get a little food item. In Madrid, that's not always the case. They kind of forgot it. They're like, what? A tapa? What is that? What is a tapa? But when you go to towns, they appreciate your business more. So they're like, hey, let me hook you up. I was at a bar at Segovia. They brought a tapa. I didn't like it. They noticed. They're like, hey, you don't like this? Let me change it. I'm like, wow, for sure.
Okay.
So, or you know what even is better? Hey, so let me get 2 beers. Oh, cool. What do you want for the tapa? And you look at the little window and you choose. I like that one. So that they don't bring me the fucking weird-ass tuna salad. So, there are perks. It's a lot cheaper. People don't understand English. Okay, if you're coming from outside, but they'll be nice enough to try to understand you. And
was that part of your birthday?
Yeah, so that was
activities?
Part of. Yeah, you could say it was part of my birthday activity.
By the way, happy birthday!
Thank you. I'm
45. Congratulations.
It's 35, but it is true that I'm starting to look like a 47-year-old accountant. No. Hopefully
no, I think you look. I think you look good. I think you look good.
No, you look 35.
You know what helps a lot? Having tattoos. I think having tattoos will make you look younger, which you do. and you look younger just by your sleeve,
By my sleeve.
your arm sleeve, your tattoo sleeve.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you having tattoos make you look like a nice 29, 30-year old.
I hope. And if I end up losing weight, maybe that brings a little bit more. If my hair is nice to me, that will help me a bit. I mean, there's a lot of factors here. God, if it exists, maybe he will help a little bit there too. Maybe technology will come up with some new things that we can use. You know, I'm hoping that our generation could probably use technological advances that can maybe take us to 115.
Are you
that-
afraid of the death? No, let me rephrase that. Are you afraid of dying?
I love how you asked it. It was even more gangster. It's like, are you afraid of the death? It's like, it's a thing. It's a guy that's coming for you. Yeah, I am afraid of dying. I am afraid of death. And I do want to live as much as possible.
So you would rather be a non-functional 115-year-old?
No, I'm not talking about like Biden 115. But if I can get to 115, chilling, smoking out of a bong,
okay,
and eating pork rind, then yeah, I want to reach to 115, see what my grandkids are doing. Yeah, I do. And I also hope that when I'm 115 and it's my time to go, that inside of me, I'm like, thank God, I'm good. You feel me? Like, I want to feel like, I'm good to go now. I don't even want to do this anymore type shit. That's how I would love to feel like. Whenever I see an old guy that's old, and then you ask him about, how's life? He's like, fuck life, I want to go already. I'm like, damn, that's gangster. I want to feel that way when I'm that age, of course, not now. If you feel that way now, then you got to go to the sarcopods. I don't want to say the names because last time we talked about the euthanasia, some people didn't like it. They thought we were going a little bit insane. But anyways, yeah, death, it is a funny thing.
Would you rather talk about traffic and how much time we're losing in traffic?
Sure, but did you know how many people die in the road? No. Okay. Let's talk about traffic. I sent you one thing that was pretty interesting about the 10 cities in the U.S. with the most traffic of vehicles. No, not drugs or anything like that.
Well, you already saw this, so let's show it. Let's
show it to the public, and don't worry if you're listening to the audio waves. We're gonna
talk about this.
But for the people that have the visual eyes, then they can see it. For the blind people that listen to us, we're also gonna explain it. If you're deaf, then
just
I don't
look
know.
at us.
Then I don't know. I can't help you there.
Closed caption, of
course. That's what closed caption is for. Actually, that's literally what.
That is literally what it's made for.
Yeah.
Actually, you know that now stadiums have closed captioning. So like soccer stadiums, baseball stadiums. But it's just like the announcer's voice of this, like the stadium voice, just announcing like the player. So now up to number 5, Kiko. And then that's just in the. You
know what I just realized? I'm so happy that now we have closed caption, and that closed caption is good enough where like it automatically translates it at the moment. Like you don't need to have it subtitled previously. Right. Because this way we're able to get rid of the weird ass lady that used to be in events translating the thing with the hands, doing gang signs like, yo, chill out, bitch.
We're going to let the Venezuelan government know about that. They still use the lady in the little box.
Because like if you're deaf, I would much rather read it than have to understand this lady's hand signs.
But that's why they have their own language, right?
No, I mean that's cool. I want to have that language too, so that I can talk to my own people about the others. But I'm saying if I'm at a stadium or a movie, yeah,
right.
Imagine if you're at a movie theater and in California they pass a law, or like no, every movie theater has to have a lady at the bottom translating. That's crazy. That's something they would do. That's something that Gavin Newsom would do. All right, so let's get to it. I got these stats from an account that I follow called Valuetainment. It's a channel by Patrick Bet David. It's a guy that I follow and listen to. It's pretty cool. And this one is pretty interesting. So, hours delayed in traffic congestion per driver in 2023. So, starting at the very top, we have New York City with 101 hours delayed in traffic in the year 2023. That means in the whole year, you lost 100 hours in the road. Think about that. 100 hours. You know how many days that is?
Are you doing the math?
Yeah, that's over 4 days. full days, including the sleeping time that New Yorkers lose, right? Makes sense in a place that's so congested. Most people use the public transport because of that. I can see, for example, in Madrid, even though it's nowhere in this list, thankfully, although this list is also, I think, in the U.S. Yeah, U.S. cities. I think Madrid does well in having a public transport system to avoid a lot of these congestions.
That has to help a lot.
Yeah,
But
and an efficient system too.
the thing is that New York is also known for having a good, I don't know if it's good, but having a good railway system, right? A metro system.
I mean, aside from having rats, homeless people, and crackheads killing each other, it seems to be a very good system.
It's
I
also
hear.
delayed a lot.
It's also what?
Delayed a lot.
Yeah. Aside from all of that, it's a great system. Aside from people throwing other people into the rails, into the fucking train trails. Yeah, so
Damn,
New York.
101
I mean,
hours.
this is not something that would surprise anyone, right? Like when you think of traffic in the world, the most classic image is like, you know, the yellow cab in New York, traffic, you know, peak time. So this is not surprising. And this list, from what I see, is pretty much the main cities in the U.S. Following New York, we have Chicago with 96, then Los Angeles with 89, Boston with 88, and in the fifth place with 70 hours lost every year, Miami, Florida. So representing for the 305, for the 954, for the 786, for the click down there, the Miamians, the MIA, Rick Ross, Apalaca City. And this is not surprising, right? If you lived in Miami, you know that it's a fucking hell. And they have this little system, which I'm sure they have all over the U.S., which is a preferential system. They divide the highway in two, and then one half goes through like a fast pass system where you pay more, and then you don't have to make sort of the traffic line. Or you can just go through the normal line, and it just takes a long ass time, especially for people that need to drive to the center of Miami, or what they would call the financial district, whatever, you know. The South Beach, Brickell. It's pretty fucked. So
I hate driving now. I mean, I see that San Francisco is in this list with 45 hours. Thankfully, I don't have to take the highway. But here, the streets are very crammed. Like
and then
the
you add
streets-
a bunch of homeless people, urban campers. And he makes it a little bit tighter.
tighter for sure. I don't know. I think Miami was very bad. Like the one of the worst that I've seen. And I've also driven in Los Angeles, and that's fucking hell. It takes 2 hours to go like 10 miles.
I mean, Los Angeles with 89, we're pretty much looking at, and you can take this, you can take this off.
Screenshot.
Yeah. Send me it through the chat, just so I can see it. But this way, people can look at your face too. Because people, when they look at one of the main comments I get is, "Can we get more of Chef Marie's face?"
Of course.
So I try to give them that. So
Even
that's
if
what
it's blurry.
yeah, they're like, even if it's blurry, we make up the rest in our head, and we service ourselves in honor of the Chef Marie's. Yeah, I mean, when we look at the highest cities, it's Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. It's gotta be a hell to live there in LA and move, from place to place. The other day I was thinking, sometimes I'm like, fuck, man, I should I get a car? Would it make things easier for me? And the thing is, this is not organized like the US, where everything is designed for a vehicle, with parking spaces, with shopping centers that are made for cars. So here, at the end of the day, if you wanted to get to a place, I mean, there are situations where you're going to get there faster, but in peak hours and in general sense, it's a lot easier and faster to go through the public transport. And then you have a second issue, which is, and this might not be the issue in the US because over there's a lot more parking, but here parking is a big issue. Unless you're willing to pay for a paid parking all the time, it's very restricted, right? Because European cities are mad small. They were made, back in the day when they had carriages with horses and they slayed women. Abortions were free for the liberals. In California, I think they're free.
I don't know. I've never had an abortion before.
No, but I think you get to a year. In California, you get to a year. I think you get 3 in San Francisco. Which you think is ironic, that you would expect less abortions in San Francisco because of the gays. Because they cannot get pregnant.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Top cities in the world with worst traffic. London. In this one, they say Chicago, number 2.
Oh, so you're looking at another list.
Yes, this is like worldwide.
Okay.
So London, Chicago, Paris, Boston, New York, Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, shit. Colombia, Bogota.
Toronto in Canada.
Okay.
Philadelphia.
Okay.
So it's a lot of U.S. cities. And then I can see, why London and Paris are
London and
here.
Paris were in my radar because I also think of those cities as packed cities. I will say again, I'm not trying to get people to move to Madrid. I'm trying to get people to leave.
To leave.
Yeah. They're packing this shit up, and it's like a little secret that people are finding out. But this is a very tame place. Even even congestion here is a breeze in comparison to fucking Miami traffic with a bunch of goons trying to cut in front of you, doing all this maneuvering. A lot of people doing cocaine in the road. It's like a national sport in Florida. On the reals. Gator fighting and cocaine and cocaine driving are 2 of the main attractions that
a lot of India cities in this traffic list.
Oh, I bet. Now we can now if we look into like India and East Asia, Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Indonesia, that's traffic with motorcycles. That's not even lights. That's just like you just go. You know what I'm talking about? Like, are you like picturing? For the people that are on audio, have you traveled to Indonesia, Micronesia, Vietnam, Thailand? Those places, heavy traffic. You know what other place? Tell me if it's in the list, but that in my mind I imagine very trafficy. Tokyo.
It's not in the list.
Japanese, they handle the traffic well.
They handle a lot of good things well.
Yeah. The Japanese don't fuck around. The Japanese have like a little thing where like, and I love this, like when they're walking, because there's not just a lot of traffic of vehicles, there's a lot of traffic of people. Tokyo has that famous crossing where like I think 3 million people cross every day. It's like a 5-lane fucking, okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Well, over there's like these imaginary lines of the way forward, the way this way, and everybody has to follow it. And even if you're on your phone, because everybody's addicted to their phone nowadays, you have to be aware of your surroundings. There's like a word in Japanese for being aware of your surroundings, which is one of my main pet peeves with people in the street. They're not aware of their surroundings. So if you're in Tokyo and you stop to look at your phone and you're not flowing with the people, you get slapped in the face by Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani dick.
Not literally him, but like metaphorically. They don't
Or
fuck
maybe it's
around with
that.
that. I mean, they won't tell you anything because Japanese people are respectful. They won't be like, they won't, they won't do that. They will. I just do it for reference. I know that's not how they speak. It's just I want to get the people that are listening on audio, they need a little bit more cues so they can get into the story. So what I'm saying is when you get these Japanese people, they won't tell you to your face, hey, you're fucking it up. But you get the sense that they're looking at you like, hey, if you're a foreigner, follow the rules or get the fuck out. All right?
A lot of the cities in this list.
They don't like people from Hawaii.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. A lot of the cities in this list worldwide are cities that are highly populated.
Yeah, no shit, bro.
Of course. I mean, what I was trying to get to is like a lot of the cities are it's the traffic congestion is because of high population. And
As
Mexico,
opposed to... Sorry.
Mexico
City, I was about to say.
Very, very congested.
In Mexico, you also have people in the street selling tacos, which I support. But
Delicious.
that does make the street smaller.
And a lot of cities in China, which of course...
Right. Makes sense.
Any city has like fucking 10 million people.
Yeah, like a town in China has 25 million people. Like a little town.
That's a little town, yeah.
It's a little town in the province of Shanghai. They never like had internet. They've never left. It's 25 million people living there. It's insane, bro.
Same with Nigeria. Lagos has like a high population of, high traffic, worse traffic in Nigeria. So, high population, high traffic,
and
a
also
lot of time spent in the car.
Also, a lot of deficiency in the governments. To not expand roads. Like, for example, in Venezuela, you don't have traffic these days because a lot of people left. Like a third of the country's population left. But when we used to live there, Venezuela had a lot of traffic. I mean, there was a lot, especially in Caracas, in the capital, there was a lot of traffic. But it wasn't because we had an extreme growth of population that was never seen before. It was because the roads were built once in the 50s. And then they were never expanded or built further. So then obviously as the population grew, nothing else changes, nothing else expands. Yeah, you're going to have a congestion, but it's because of a lack of action from the governments.
That's one of the things I've noticed in a place like Miami, where we lived, is that city was made for the 1980s, the 1970s. And now that the city's growing, the traffic is hell. So, lack of governmental help.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
think that back in the day, like they say cocaine money made Miami what it is. Do you think we need another wave of cocaine to make people sort of active? I mean, I'm not saying people don't do cocaine now in Miami. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm talking about a little ramp up. Like when your coach would come to you, you're like, hey, Kiko, I know you're doing well. You're doing 2 a days. You're training hard as fuck. I need you to train a third time in the day. Take a little more protein, creatine. Inject this little thing here. Don't ask what it is. And I need you to go a little harder in the games.
Well, now the cocaine is washing up in the shores.
Oh, you seen the videos?
I've seen the videos.
You know what I'm talking about? You're just having a few brewskis with the boys, and then a little package comes ashore.
You're like, what is this?
Is this a floaty?
I'm gonna take it home just in case. So, what do you do in that scenario? You keep it.
I've had like dreams / nightmares of this, where I'm like fantasizing about like I'm at the beach, South Beach or whatever the fuck, for Lauderdale.
Lauderdale.
Brickell Beach, whatever it is, and then, but I go in the weekdays because I don't like people, so I go on a Tuesday.
Perfect time to go.
Not that many people, and I'm just chilling there having, I'm not gonna say brands, but a cold brewski, maybe even lighting up a God's
Definitely not an
torch.
IPA.
Not an IPA. Hell no. If I have an IPA in the Florida sun, I throw up. I might have a convulsion. No. A nice, brand that's been going on for a long time. Commercial. It's in the stock market. Whatever the fuck. It's owned by a big group that controls the world. Yeah. Okay. So I'm having a cold brewski. I'm looking at the sea. Something washes ashore. What is that? Is that an old lady? Let me check. Maybe it's a Cuban lady that just fucking drowned, and I'm there to help them.
Of course.
Cuban people are sort of very close to me because of communism, and we share the same misery. I go to check. It's not Cuban lady. It's a weird package. I take it, I'm like, hey, let me inspect this a little bit. I take it to my little tent, where I have the sombrilla, the little, what's it called? The tent.
The little tent. I think the tent is...
tent, yeah, the shade. And then I'm like, hey, what the fuck is this? Is this like let me check. And then I open it, and then I crack it up like this with my Swiss Army knife. And I'm like, whoa, is this?
You gotta taste it.
Stevia? Like, what is it?
Stevia.
And I'm like, I've never done this before, but let me taste it, I guess. Let me put it in my mouth and check. I put it in my mouth. Everything is completely numb. And then I start hearing out of nowhere, the soundtrack from Narcos. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm starting to get weird ideas. I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I going to do? Am I put this package in my fucking 98 Toyota Corolla and take this? But then it starts getting into my head. I'm like, shit, bitch, I might. How much am I making right now a month? How much do I owe in credit cards?
Student loans.
When's the last time my dad called and said, you fucking loser, you haven't done shit with your life? Yesterday, but who's counting? And I think, okay, I never sold cocaine before. But hey, let me make a few calls. I call my boy Juan. I call my boy John Jairo. Just for story reference, they're Colombians, but it has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. They're just my friends from my childhood. What the fuck you want me to do? Like, deny them of their nationality? No, they're, John Jairo is half Dominican. Again, just part of the... half Dominican, half Colombian. It's a very strong connection there. But anyways, I've thought about, like, okay, what if I get this shit and I just sell it little by little? I'm not going to go crazy. Like fucking... the queen of, of Colombia, whatever, the queen of cocaine,
Griselda?
Griselda, yeah, no, I go crazy, like boom, boom, no. Just sell little packages to friends that are just looking for a good time. I won't cut it. I'll keep it powerful. And then the cash, you can put it in the bank because the banks are going to be like, hey, yo, quick thing here. What's up with this entries of $3,000 at a time every week? What am I going to tell them? That I have a little sugar mama? No, I have a little sugar powder. I can't tell them, bro. I keep that shit cash and I spend the cash. The problem with fast money is you got to spend it fast too. You can't be fucking buying things that they can then see. You can just go and buy a house. So what do? You have to like spend it. But you can't spend it at Taco Bell. Imagine how many Taco Bells you need to get to spend all that money. So you need to start going to like Michelin star restaurants. But then they're going to notice, oh, why the fuck is this guy going to Michelin star restaurants? So it's not that easy. That's what I'm trying to say. But we can start making a plan, and then just go to like weekly to the Miami shores and to something comes ashore.
As a good citizen, what would you do? You return it or you...
Well, I already told you.
I know, but the right thing to do is to return it.
Right, but unfortunately, you wanted me to be honest. If you want me to lie and look good, I would say I will call the Miami Police Department right away.
I've been thinking I've been having the same thoughts of keeping it or returning it. Because I feel like the reward is not going to be that high. You're probably going to sell it for way more than the reward.
Well, what do you mean reward? It's not going to be reward.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they give like $1,000 reward for giving.
If anything, the police is going to come and be like, why do you have this? You're like, I swear to God, I just found it. They'll take you to fucking jail. No, they're not going to reward you with shit. If anything, you'll get a little a little, article in the Herald.
Or your
Yo-
picture on Instagram.
Young Hispanic man finds
Young
poison.
Colombian.
Young Venezuelan non-immigrant is found a venomous package. Has returned safely to the Miami Police Department. No,
You'll be a
it's not
hero of the town.
exactly, but maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe I'm trying to make my own route, my own life. You know what I mean? So, am I saying I'm gonna definitely keep it? No, but I am considering it, and I have written out guides and plans of how I would make that money clean. Because that's the most important part. How do you clean the money? And then what happens if I start tasting the cocaine and I kind of like it? I mean, I know that I'm like this, I'm like a guy that's decent. Like, people know what's our motto here. Weed and wine. The 2 W's. That's our motto. But what if I start tasting this pure Bolivian white? And I started liking this shit where I'm like, God, I don't even want to sell it anymore. And I just get a nice little efficiency in North Miami. And for a whole year, I just finish that package. I'll lose weight for sure.
You get to that goal eventually.
I will lose my fucking weight for sure. Will I have destroyed my nostrils? And probably my cardiovascular system? Yeah.
What's that guy's name who fucked up his nose? He used to be Artie Lange.
Artie Lange, bro. But you know what happened to him? Bro, the story that he tells is one of the most cringy shit I've ever heard. He said he was breaking up the weed, but when he was breaking it, the cocaine, but because sometimes it comes in rocks and you have to crush it into powder. And when he was doing that, he was doing it in some glass, and so the glass also broke into pieces in like powder glass and got combined with the cocaine. So when he sniffed cocaine with glass.
Oh, shit.
And that shit ripped his nose apart to the point where they had to, like, if you look at him now, he has no nose. He's like the guy Voldemort. So for the kids out there, I already said, don't do any of these drugs. I'm talking here hypothetically. If I was to, keep this shit, I don't think, don't get ideas, especially because of fentanyl. We talked about, the people doing acrobatics near where you work with the fentanyl. So I don't want people to, fall in any of that. The 2 W's of life: weed and wine, and what else? And
women.
And women, the 3 W's. Yeah. Unless you're gay, in that case it's huevo or, guys.
Huevo, weed, and wine.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, well, it's been grand. Chef Maurice, Arizona Diamondback Fit, always looking fresh from San Francisco. I'm coming to you from Madrid. We've connected to the magic Starlink satellite of Elon Musk. Yeah.
Wow.
Love you. Take care. Follow us. Leave us some comments and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Love you.